Welcome and thanks for taking the time to watch this video where we'll be looking at running a Linux fork bomb on Nutanix Community Edition, CE, controller virtual machine, or CVM, in AHV hypervisor on VMware Workstation Pro 16. Before we get started, I do need to throw out this disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only and will not cover the ethical nature, morality of, legality, and boundaries of operations to use this tool in a safe environment that doesn't introduce potential risk and accompanying consequences if used improperly. Tools can equally be used for good, neutral, and or bad purposes to perform a function that delivers an end result, be it unintentional or otherwise. The events in this video were performed in a controlled environment with authorization to conduct the operations for specific use cases. Viewer discretion is advised, with the sole responsibility placed upon the viewer if utilizing this video in any way with the ill-backed motivation and nefarious intent to inflict possible harm and or denial of service in a domain which you are not authorized. This disclaimer should not assume to be derogatory in any way to the viewer. These days in the land of the internet, one can't predict how things can be used in unforeseen ways through variable dimensions. Please learn responsibly. Looking at the fork bomb core structure, there's a single line command that has three primary components, including: number one, defining the function that's represented by a colon; number two, running the function as a background task while sending the output of the function to itself; and number three, calling or initiating the function colon. Essentially, the function calls itself in an infinite loop without a self-exit handling mechanism to terminate the process that's constantly consuming more CPU resources, leading to a potential denial of service or system crash. For legitimate purposes, this might be used in security pen testing, vulnerability assessment, introduction of simulated performance impact with CPU resources, and post-event analysis of logs. In this setup using VMware Workstation 16, on the left-hand side, I have a console session to the Nutanix AHV hypervisor that is SSH into the CVM to run the fork bomb command. And on the right side, I have a PowerShell session open to the same CVM with the top command running to view the resource utilization. When the command is ran, we can expect to see a process ID that's forked into child processes that will continuously thread in the left console session. Likewise, the load averages and CPU percentages at the top of the right PowerShell session will immediately increase. This scenario will persist until I press Ctrl-C in the left console to stop the process that will normalize CPU resources over time. However, I should note that stopping the processes might not be a scenario that will work in all environments, as CPU resources can get exhausted, requiring a reboot of the system. After a reboot of the system will operate as expected and without impact from the fork bomb unless it's been configured to run automatically as a task. That being said, let's go ahead and run it.
Wow.
Again, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you found this video to be informative and would like to help out this channel, please like the video, comment below, and subscribe for future content. Until next time, see ya!